This is part 2 on how to use the quilting markers or diamond markers, and I find the best thing is to put a French draper on the top of the cake to spread the weight when you're pressing down. Always start right in the very corner, and what you're going to do is make certain it hits the board, and then you're going to press the top, press the two sides, press the bottom part, and remove it, and then match point to point. Again, hitting the bottom of the cake and the top of the cake, matching the points. Press the top, the sides, and then the bottom. Take it out. Now once we've reached the end like that, you're going to wonder how we go around the corner. And again, I'm going to show you this, even though we're going to do 4 different patterns. Again, always remember to touch the bottom, and you press point to point, and you're going to press it in and make certain you get all the pattern, and then you're going to bend the marker around like this and carry it on, pressing, pressing, pressing. And then you're going to remove it very carefully, and that is your piece going around the corner. Now if you're wondering what these marks are here, that is because we did not allow the cake board to dry. This is why in part 1 I said let it dry 2 or 3 days. As this is not dry, it's going to constantly make marks in there. Now we're going to change the markers and do a single diamond. And this was the original one that I first came out with in 2 sizes, and it's still very, very popular. Again, always make certain you hit the table. I can go a little bit closer here. And this one here, and what you have to realize, you cannot go over the top more than these 2, because if you do, your cake is getting smaller, but your markers are not getting smaller. So all you're doing is pressing them in, going slightly over the top, so that you get 2 complete patterns. As this is a different style of marker, what I'm going to do with this to show you that it can be used more than one way, we're going to take this from the top and go down, make certain that it all sort of matches at the top, and you again press it in all the way along, remove it, and then what you have to do is make certain you match point to point again. What I try to show people, there's more than one way to use a tool, and the more ways you can figure out what you're doing with it, the easier it is and the cheaper the tool becomes, because it's used for more than one application. So remove that. This design is called Petal Mosaic, and this time now we're going to take this down to the bottom, making certain that you match it up. Keep your fingers pressed on the top. That shows you the Petal Mosaic design. This one here is the single double diamond design. This one here is our straight up and down design, which has been the most popular. And this one here is our diamond with inserts. And they are 4 of 30 different patterns we carry. A bag of royal icing and a 1.5 tip, we can now finish off the points to make them look a little bit tidier. So what we are going to do is put a little dab of ice in there, and I normally do 3 or 4 up to 6 at a time, because I find the icing will start to dry and then we'll hold the flour. Then I'm going to pick up a little bit of little tiny forget-me-not with a tiny amount of, and just dab it on. So this way we are putting the center of the flour in, plus attaching it to the diamond points. Sometimes in the summer when it's very, very hot, and as long as the car is going to be in as long as the cake is going to be in air conditioning, we will attach these with white chocolate because it dries so fast. Now I could go around putting them all up in the top here and at the bottom, but I thought maybe we'd bring in some pearls. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and put one on the corner here, 6. The pearls I like to put on with my fingers rather than using tweezers because I think I have more control. And you don't need a great deal of icing, as you can see. You just need a small amount, enough to grab the, if you think it's not centered, just center it. To me, this is what makes the cake look completely finished rather than half finished. And before I put the bottom one on, I will just fill this little space in with royal icing to sort of make it cemented so it's nice and flat. And I will take my finger, and then what I would do is pipe a small bead border along here, and as I pipe, I attach the final dot down there on the icing. And that's how we're going to finish off the cake. This time we are going to put little hearts that we cut out of sugar paste or fondant and sprinkled them with fairy dust. So we're going to put one here, one here, one here. Now when you plan anything like this, you must always have the pieces made up because it is very hard to try and put on a piece that is not dry. So this is one thing with fondant work, you have to be organized. This is also a very attractive cake for Valentine's if you do the little hearts in red. We're going to repeat the heart at the top here. This is where your creativity comes in, because you can actually do whatever you like. And if you just want to pipe a dot, you could pipe a dot. If you want to pipe little bows, you can pipe little bows. But don't have anything too large, or else it will take away from your design, and that spoils the beautiful design that you've created. And finally, we're going to go to our straight diamond, which is, as I said before, the most popular one, and it just goes straight up and down. When you do this one, you need something at the top, two sides, the middle, two sides there, and again if we put a little bead border on here, you're going to need something at the bottom as well. So this time we can use little circles. I think we have some little circles. This is a nice way for confetti for a wedding shower. And what you can do is bring in the color of the wedding party as a pearl and put that on top of the circle. And I will show you that in a moment. Again, these are just cut out of a round plunger cutter, and you can see we coat it with very thin down piping jelly and then sprinkle on the fairy dust, and it really looks attractive if you want confetti on a cake. The sparkle, especially under lights, just is amazing. And if you want to put a pearl or a little flower on top of that, again, just pipe the little dots. And this, as I say, is bringing in the accent colors. So that's some of the ways to finish off the diamond markers, and as I say, they are very quick, very easy, but I think this looks unfinished compared to that, and this is where your imagination can run wild. You can do whatever you like to, but this is some of the ideas that we've created, and I hope you enjoyed the second video of how to impress your freshly covered cake with diamond markers or quilters. Thank you.